Hi there, I'm Kristine Oller, and I'm so happy you are taking a moment to absorb this bit of guidance that I have for you. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to use a tool that many of my clients currently use, my weekly planning chart. I know, that's not the most thrilling sentence you've ever heard, but bear with me because this is a tool that can actually change the trajectory of your life and career. I will get back to that extraordinary claim in a moment. But first, I want to address the fact that when I mention a planning chart to most folks, creative ones especially, their response usually is, plan my week? Why should I plan my week when one unexpected thing, an audition, my child getting a cold, a project that falls into my lap, can totally obliterate my plans? It seems like a kind of a useless task. I'll just go along day to day and react as needed. Other times, I'm working with clients whose circumstances are such that they have all the time in the world. So they'll say, plan my week? Why should I plan my week when I have enough space to just go with the flow? Both of those are completely understandable responses. And I can understand that the idea of using a planning chart week after week after week can seem so boring if you are not connected to why you are using it. So I'm going to talk a bit about the why, and then about the whole changing the trajectory of your life and career, and then I'll introduce you to the chart itself. Here are the 5 reasons why I think spending 15 minutes at the end of a Sunday, beginning of a Monday, to sit down and assess your week ahead and plan your activities is hugely beneficial. Benefit number 1, having a little planning session can relieve a lot of the anxiety that builds up in your head over the course of a week when you're trying to keep mental tabs on everything. Planning gives you a chance to calm down, take a step back, examine what happened last week, evaluate your progress, and decide consciously how you are going to move forward this week. Benefit number 2, using a planning chart also helps you keep your agenda, the things that you want to experience and accomplish, front and center in your schedule and in your mind. Everyone has an agenda, and we are all looking around to see who can help us accomplish what we want to do. And if you are not utilizing the time you have during a week for your agenda, I promise it will be filled by the agendas of other people. You'll end up doing a lot of fun, kind, skillful, amazing things each week, none of which, however, is actually moving you closer to reaching your goals. If you are not taking time to plan your week, then the person in your life with the clearest, most specific, most actionable agenda will usually win the battle for your time. If your plans for Saturday are vague, to do some work on my marketing stuff, and if their plans for Saturday are concrete, hey, help me pack my apartment for my move from noon to 4. Your brain automatically goes to the detailed plan of action and says, now that I can do. Plus, if you help your sister move and follow her agenda, at least you know you'll have done something good with your day and you will feel good and maybe you'll even get a free lunch out of it. And sometimes I find that my clients are consciously choosing to put other people's agendas ahead of their own, out of habit or guilt or wanting to be a people pleaser, or they are seeking praise or a reward, think paycheck from a day job, or they just don't want to make the tough decisions about what they want to do, or they're afraid of failing with their own agenda, or even succeeding with their own agenda. All of this is why other people's agendas can be so seductive. But using a planning chart to put your own agenda into your week first allows you to get more of it accomplished by the end of the week, and it enables you to make conscious choices about whether you want to trade out time for something on your agenda and give it to someone else's agenda. Benefit number 3. A planning chart gives you clear data about what you did and didn't do. It gives you a picture of your progress. It lets you see what to-dos keep falling off the cliff each week, even though you say they are important. It helps you stay aware of your life so you never find yourself saying, oh, where did the week go? Or month or year go? Without this weekly input about the status of your goals, then all you have to turn to is your feelings about things. So you judge your progress by taking your emotional temperature. You ask yourself, well, how did I feel the last month went? Well, it felt pretty good. It felt like I kind of made some headway, so I guess I'm just gonna continue as is for now. But all too often, your emotional temperature is not accurate. I've worked with so many folks who took their emotional temperature and felt like they had a crappy month. But once we made a list of everything they did, they were totally surprised and pleased with what actually got accomplished. And sometimes it's the other way around. Benefit 4. When your plans don't work out as planned, or when life throws you a curveball, your planning chart can help prevent you from lingering in your emotional dips. Dips will happen. The objective is simply to stay in them for as little time as possible. Then to get back on the horse. But you can't get back on the horse if you don't have a horse to get back on. Your planning chart is your horse. Once your life has settled back down, once you've recovered from your illness, once the in-laws have left town, you can take out your chart and start planning the week ahead so you won't lose any more time than was necessary. Benefit number 5. Now we return to my extraordinary claim that using this tool can actually change the trajectory of your life and career. Your planning chart will help you track your progress and see your accomplishments. When you are aware of your progress and accomplishments, you begin to feel momentum. And when you start to feel momentum, you usually are inspired to take more confident action, which in turn creates more progress, and you get into this really positive cycle, a cycle of empowerment. You feel like you have direct influence over your life and career. You feel in charge of your life and career, and that energy is the energy that pulls your dreams closer to you so that they are easier to reach. That is the energy that protects you from burning out. That is the energy which attracts opportunities and people who want to help you. And if you have that energy of empowerment within you on a consistent basis, how could the trajectory of your life and career not move forward faster in the direction that you want to go? See what I'm talking about? Now, let's get to the nuts and bolts of the chart itself. So here is your planning chart. And there's nothing magic about this chart. I literally just designed it in Word for a client of mine one year, and he used it, and then I gave it to some other clients, and it just seemed to be really useful. And it's divided, as you see, into 2 sections. There's the top section for your goals and your to-dos, and there's the bottom section where it has a little rectangle for every day of the week. When you print out a new chart at the beginning of your week, you're actually going to start here along the bottom. Now you'll notice this planning chart, because I created it for that particular client, he started his weeks on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But feel free to cross those out if you want to start your week on Monday. Either way, I encourage you to write in the dates for the week ahead that you're planning for. And then you'll notice that each of the rectangles for each day is divided into 3 sections: morning, afternoon, evening. And these sections aren't that big because you don't need them to be. This is not meant to be your date book where you put in all the details about where you're going to be and who you're going to meet at what time. This is a worksheet. The whole purpose of this planning chart is so that you can visually see the time that you have available each week for your agenda and then decide what that agenda is going to be. Another reason these 3 sections are kind of small is because very often when people are planning, they underestimate the amount of time it's going to take them to do something. If you have a dentist appointment on Monday morning, that is your Monday morning. You have to get ready for it. You have to drive there. You have to do the appointment. The dentist might see you later than expected and something might happen and blah, blah, blah. That's your whole morning. So maybe 1 or 2 things can fit into each section. So I'm encouraging you to start acknowledging how much time these tasks and activities actually eat up in a day. So when you begin your planning session, you print out a blank chart for the week, and the first thing I want you to do is write in all of the activities that are already scheduled for your week. You already know you have a dentist appointment on Monday morning and you have lunch with Ben, and Tuesday and Thursday morning you're going to do a workout followed by some errands and a meeting. Tuesday and Thursday night you have class, and then this weekend, starting late Friday afternoon, you're going to be on a beach trip, and then before then you're going to have to pack for all that. Once you've written in the stuff that is pre-planned for your week, then you can see the space that you now have available for your agenda. And I like to draw circles so I can really see where those blocks of space exist. Because so often we're trying to keep all of this just in our head and we don't ever get a nice visual picture of what our week looks like. And you can see on this week, a lot of the space that's available for you to do your to-dos is at the front of your week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. The end of your week is pretty packed. So if you really want to get stuff done, you now know, oh, it really has to be front-loaded on this particular week. And some weeks, you'll look down and there'll be barely any circles of space. And you'll be like, whoa, I cannot, waste a minute here. I don't have that much space for my to-dos. And then some weeks, it'll be like wide open. And you'll be like, okay, great. I want to take advantage of the fact that I do have a lot of space this week. So what do I want to get done? So I like to have this visual picture of the week before I start making a to-do list, because the amount of to-dos you put on your list is going to depend on the amount of space you actually have to do them. And planning is not about stuffing every available minute of time with a to-do. You want to have some space for yourself or just some open space in your calendar. That's fine. But you do want to know what is the most important things that I want to get accomplished this week so I actually can get them accomplished. So once you fill out the bottom of the chart, now you can go up to the top in the project area. I've created 5 rectangles for projects. You might have 8 projects. If you do, it's a little much. Usually, if you have 5 projects, life and career stuff, big things that you're really trying to move forward and grow in your life, that's a lot. That's enough. Now, even though projects have a beginning, a middle, and an end, they vary by length. Some projects you might get done in 2 weeks. Some projects you will continue to write them on your planning chart for 6 months because they're just not done yet. They're very long-term projects that you're chipping away at. Whatever you pick for project A at some point is going to be complete. So then you can replace project A with a new project. So the next step is to write in the 5 projects that you are focused on at this point in time. And on this planning chart, you're writing a screenplay, you're creating a side business for some extra income, you're getting in shape for the summer, you want to rent your guest house on Airbnb, and you're working on putting all of your digital photos for 2014 into a photo book that you'll order online. Now, You look at the week down below and go, well, I have a fair amount of time actually. So based on the amount of time you have, you can then go to the next section, the to-dos section, and write down the to-dos for each project that you feel you can get done in the week ahead. For the screenplay, you want to write 12 pages this week and you need to schedule a meeting with Dan. For the side business, you want to call Jenny and get her advice. You want to call Mike and get his advice. You need to email Lori for her advice. You want to research that online course and decide if you want to buy it. And you want to listen to 3 business podcasts. Getting in shape for the summer. You're going to go to the gym twice. You already have that scheduled. You want to do 3 walks, drink 8 cups of water daily, and pick up an order of fresh pressed juice. To get your guest house ready to be listed on Airbnb, you need to decide on a new window and then order the window and then schedule Fred Thompson to replace the window. And you need to return the chair to Target because it wasn't quite right. For the photo book, you want to spend 3 hours this week on that project. I want you to notice something about the to-dos for the photo book project. Most people would write work on photo book, but it's much better to put a metric there. How long do you want to work on the photo book? And 3 hours doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do a 3-hour block. It could mean 3 one-hour sessions, 6 30-minute sessions. A metric gives you a goal. It gives you a way to evaluate whether, whoa, 3 hours was too much to expect me to do that in a week. I should probably just do like 1 hour every week. But without a metric, you can't make those observations. The next thing I want you to notice about to-dos is they have a verb attached. Decide, order, schedule, return, call, email. Those are actions, and it's better to break projects down by actions. On your to-do list, you can check them off and feel like you're making progress. If you just put window on the to-do list, then it can sometimes feel like, oh, I never have enough time to get to the window project. Another reason it's helpful to divide to-dos into specific actions is because then when you have a few minutes of spare time, oh, I've got 20 minutes. Then you don't have to spend that 20 minutes thinking and deciding what you should do in that 20 minutes. You can actually do things in the 20 minutes, like decide on the new window or call Jenny. So you don't have to schedule all of your to-dos in those circles on your planning chart. But the bigger ones, you might want to decide ahead of time when you're going to tackle that. Because in order for you to accomplish 12 pages of writing, you have to be able to do that writing in the way that you like to do it. Some people like to write in the morning. Some people like to write a little bit every day. Some people like to write in big blocks of time. So when you do your 12 pages depends on how you like to do your writing. Looking at your week below, if you like to get into a project, stay into a project, the 2 big blocks of time that you have, all of Sunday and all of Wednesday. So maybe you decide you want to write on your planning chart that you're going to reserve all of Wednesday for writing so that nothing else interferes with that day. The other way you could do it this next week is if you like to break it down into maybe 4 pages over 3 days and write in the afternoons. So another thing I notice on your to-do list is you want to walk 3 times during the week. So it might be good for that particular to-do to write it in on your planning chart below and actually Monday afternoon I'll do the walk, Wednesday morning I'll do a walk, Friday I'll do a walk. That kind of makes sense. And you won't put something else in that time and go, oh, right, I meant to walk on Wednesday morning. Why did I sit and do email? So now you have your walks written in and the afternoons that you've chosen to write on your screenplay written in. All the other stuff, the calls, the researching, returning the chair to Target, you'll fit that in the other spaces of the green circles. And finally, the other nice thing about having a visual representation of your week ahead is that when something comes up, you can be like, oh, okay, well, if I'm going to do it, how am I going to rearrange my week? For example, If your sister calls on Monday and was like, oh my gosh, I really need you to help me find this dress for this thing. Can you please go shopping with me Tuesday afternoon? Instead of going, yes, and obliterating whatever you had for Tuesday afternoon, you actually didn't have anything planned. So hell, why not go help your sister? Instead, you look at your planning chart and go, okay, well, I had intended to use that afternoon to write, but I could move the writing to Wednesday evening and then go shopping with my sister on Tuesday afternoon. Or you can look at your planning chart and go, okay, the only option I would have is to move that block of writing to Wednesday night, but I don't like to write at night. So I'm either going to go shopping with my sister at night, see if she can do it Wednesday night, or I'm going to say no. Or I'm just going to let that block of writing disappear and fall off my week, which is fine. Sometimes weeks, that's what will have to happen. I just want that to be a conscious decision on your part and not something where at the end of the week you're like, oh man, I barely had any writing time and I only got 2 pages done. Why? As you know, there's no magic in any tool, but you can use tools to create some magic in your life. And a planning chart is a great tool, but only if you have a plan. If you don't have a clear strategic plan, then all a planning chart does is help you organize your busy work. Creating clear strategic plans of action is one of my superpowers. So if you need some help with that, definitely let me know. I'm glad you stuck with this video until the end because I look forward to any time when I can contribute to your success.